Hi everyone, welcome to the walkthrough for Nurburgring. Um, we'll do like we do for every walkthrough. We'll go through the lap once from the inside camera, then we'll go from the outside so you have a better look of the line. And then after that, we'll go corner to by the corner. And at that point, when we go corner to corner, if you have any question, you could ask any point. You don't have to wait at the end. As we go after that corner by corner, I'm gonna tell you what I'm using for my reference for braking, or and if I have some for getting back on throttle on this track. I have some that I like to use to some reference point for getting back full throttle. So I'll give you that, but keep in mind that those will change from car to car and from different FOV you're using, or a different camera than me. I'm playing in the VR, so I might have totally different for someone who's playing on a flat screen. But at least it gives you an idea where to start to test with your car and all the different things that could maybe move those points a little bit further or before and after what I'm doing. So it could give you at least a good idea, a good start. So let's start with the onboard lap for Nurburgring that I did. This lap was made in hot lap mode, so it's about 20 degrees Celsius air temperature. So with this week it will be in the night rain, and it could be random, so it could rain. So keep in mind that this time is on the optimal track, and since it's a hot lap mode, tires are fresh every time you cross the line and all of those. So lap time may vary depending on the night with the temperature and track condition, and if we have rain, it's completely something completely different. So it's gonna be hard to tell the rain if we have rain at the lap time, but at least you know when it's optimal around 20 degrees. This time is still possible if the server was set like that. So let's start with the lap. So, I don't know why it's keep coming up. Okay, that was from the inside. As you can see, it's not a perfect lap, but we'll come back to it while we go through the place. There's a couple of mistakes, so I'll be able to show you what you should do better on. And I have next lap is not fastest, but the place that I did mistake on this lap, I didn't do it on the next lap. So I'll show you that after, but now we could go from the inside. But before we go down, I'm just going to exit the replay and come back. I don't know why it's keep going up. Just gonna try that, see if it fixed that. So lap time for this lap was 153.5. As you can see, there was some mistake on the lap, and we'll go from the inside now. From the outside, I mean, sorry. Okay, we'll go back. Also in this lap, I have like three mistakes that cost me time. One is bigger than the other two. So no one could tell me what was those mistakes. One is, I think, is pretty obvious.
When you went wide on whatever, I don't know what turn it is, but you went wide on one. Very descriptive, I know.
You could check the track map, and if you can see the number.
Is the one that you're talking about turn 7, the hairpin where you're going downhill, go around, and then back up?
Yeah, hairpin is the biggest one.
Turn 8.
No, turn 8. Turn 8 was
turn 7.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, turn 7
is the hairpin. Yes, that was one of. That's the biggest one. Yeah. So we'll come back on it when we're going through, but this was a bigger mistake. It cost me a little bit of time, but since you go wide, then you accelerate quicker, you're on the throttle quicker to gain back a little bit here, but it will still cost me a bit of time. The other two are a bit more, not as much.
Is that line car dependent? I'm sorry to know. Is that line car dependent as far as losing time?
Yeah, I lose a bit of time here.
I know for some. Okay.
Maybe some car which have a better acceleration could work. Some people, it's not like really big, but it cost me a bit of time because I went a bit too deep, but that's a little bit too much. But you could, I'll show you an example after when we come back. Anyone have idea on the other two?
Coming out of turn 2, I saw the steering wheel get a little wobbly. Was that one?
No. we'll start corner by corner and then we'll go. I'll show you. Okay, this is in front of us is turn 1. If we go from the inside, where the pit exit is on your right, a little white line in the middle of the track, that's the pit exit, so don't want to cross it. As you can see, I'm getting pretty close here while I'm getting where it's turning just in front of me. This line that you will see here, I will use it in quali, but if I'm in the race and someone is behind me,
Wouldn't you be more to the left, Mikael?
for racing, but
Yeah.
not yeah, for the racing. If you do this line that I will do here, in racing, it could be considered moving under braking because you like middle of the track, and I will let the car drift to the left of it. So
Okay.
while you're in racing condition, you probably gonna, if you're not defending, you want to do it as well as possible. So yes, you'll go more to the left for racing, but for quali, no, you want to have the fastest line as possible. So you want to try to do this in a race. If no one is behind you to attack you, it's still fine to do this.
Okay.
Just be careful if there's a car exit in a big lane, since we are getting close to it. So third one, we have a couple things that we could use for reference point. Oh, just passed it. So we have the 100-meter board, which I will not use because it's adjustable, but it's on the road access road that we have on the left, so you could use that at the beginning of it or the end of it. There's, depending on your car, you also, if I go back just a little bit more, so what I like to use is will be the access road, and as you can see, the white line is turning here. I like to be like at the peak of it, so that's one thing that I like to use for this one. So when I get in like here, I'm gonna jump on the brake, and as you can see the line, I'm going towards the left. I just want to open the corner as much as possible. I could even go further on the curve than this. Like this is not even using the old track. I'm not even touching the curve, but you could, on dry condition, you could go on the curve. See, I'm on the way at a white line. But you still have space to go on it. You could try it. The green stuff that is after the curve is a little bit more slippery, so just be careful. Just if you want to try it on practice and not on a race condition. So at least if something happens, it's not gonna ruin your race, but you could go on the curve. It's pretty safe. It's flat. There's nothing to bump to. You see, it's not serrated or anything. It's just a flat bump. It's pretty, just a little dip on the road. It's not much, so nothing there to unsettle the car on the braking. Just the green stuff that could be a bit slippery, but shouldn't be too bad. So let's go back just a bit. Just want to go from the outside. You'll have a better idea of what I'm talking about. But the line, it will be like consider, if it could be considered braking under braking, moving under braking. See, I'm starting like not middle of the track. The line's pretty much the middle of the track, but then I'm gonna just let a car drift to the left. So just be careful in racing condition, but for quali, you should be fine to use it. Let's come back just a little bit here. Start turning. You want to go close to the curve, as you should see. And here, if you go down here, you can see the track is dipping like a lot here compared to it just like drop, and you hear it when you're driving. You just hear the car going down. Just be careful on those cars. Those one are serrated like a lot more than what we have on the other side. So you want to go close, but don't need to go on it. And when you get at the bottom of it, like around here, where's my mouse? When you at the end of it, you'll get back on throttle at that point. See, if I continue to go forward just a little bit, hit the bottom and back That's even late for full throttle. You could be on full throttle like probably around like almost here. I could check out the lab after, but see if I did it better here. Still a bit late, but it's not too bad. It's not the end of the world, but if you want to maximize your time, you should be a little bit sooner. Just maybe a car lane, something. It's like here, back full throttle, and you don't need to go all the way up to the left here because next corner is not too far in front of us, and I need to prepare for this one too. So you could go, some car will go. If you do a small mistake, the road is there, you have space to keep doing it. So but just keep in mind the next corner might be taking it a little bit tighter if you go a little bit too wide on the exit of one. So just be careful of that. And if you're at the point that you're going to start practicing trail braking, turn 1 for this track. It's really good for your trail braking. You can see here, still full throttle, but I'm gonna start to turn, start to release the brake a bit. It's one of a really good corner to try trail braking because it's gonna try trail brake here and keep it. This is the trail brake, and then release it when you're at the bottom and go back full throttle. So really good corner to start practicing trail braking fewer.
Do you do your right tires touch the apex, the red and white, or do you just go a little bit outside of that? Because I can't tell, because we're inside the car.
Let's see.
So if you just want to show it to us, if what you say is the right thing to do here.
Just getting close to it.
Okay.
That's what you want to see. Because the bump on it are so they want to go close, but don't.
Not too close, eh?
Not too close because you're.
Yeah.
The beginning is fine. As you see, we have like small part of it, but if you go up there, it's gonna be rough on the car.
Mm.
And since the track is dipping down to here a lot.
And turn 1 is a second gear turn?
And the McLaren taking second, but the car might taking in first. So keep in mind that gearing might change from car to car. And McLaren doesn't really like first gear, even in really slow corner when they're up in. I try to remember when I drove here. I think the last time was in the Porsche. I think it was probably in first gear. Some car will just prefer it, so that's just something to try. Okay, coming to turn 2. What I want to do here, see it still in turning the car. I want to try to align the car with the Pirelli like inflatable thing that is in front of me. So see, I'm gonna turn the car. I'm pretty much aligned with it. And for this turn, you'll do a lift or a small tap of the brake, or like a really small tap, maybe like 10, not even 20%, or really quick if you do a tap. I think here I stayed in second for this lap, and I just did the lift. Let's see. Yeah, small tap, as you can see, it was like even 10%. So just go back a tiny bit. See it? Once you're aligned with Pirelli, that's there. And then once you get to, see see, it's not a lot to where we're going to do the lift there. You still have the road on the left, the access road, that's still a little bit there, but it's kind of hard to see since the track uh, layout. You have maybe the GT World Champion. I think the GT flag that's just over there. Their dispatch here. Personally, I don't look at this, but this one will be good to see. It's probably, yeah, this should be good. For me, just by feel this one, but as I'm looking at the replay here, this is probably perfect. You could lift there, start your lift, and then this one you want to keep it close to the curve. You could even use it on the curve. It's not as much as the first one. And for this turn, I like to use this yellow crane that we have there. That's when it's in front of me, like here, I should be pretty much full throttle. That's one of the few corner in the track. I think I have one more for this track. And even other tracks, it's really rare that I'm using marker for acceleration, but this one worked really well. So as you can see, I'm almost aligned with it, like here, and then you should be full throttle at this point. Yeah, there was, as you can see here, I was just correcting the car. Is the exit here is really slippery for some reason, and if you go on the green here, I think, do I go on it a bit? Yeah, I'm on it a bit here. Be careful because that exit, just with the different camber that you turn 2, you're going up, then you turn in, starting to going down a bit. So that just why the bag is so loose on the exit here, but that's just the nature of the corner. So just be careful on it, and we'll take a look back from here, and you'll see, take a look at the brake. I'm just gonna touch it like really quickly. We'll just remove a tiny bit of speed, but it's not even necessary. And just do a lift and be patient. Back full throttle. So that corner will test your patience for sure. It's pretty long one that you need to be patient. Just let the car coast, and when you get to the crane, then you get back on throttle.
And then I see that you're braking near the green. Is that where we should probably consider it?
Yeah, you could try on the green, but pretty much you'll be try to getting off the green for the brake.
Oh, I'm saying the braking starts right just as the green disappears from view.
Yeah, you have the green here, and you also have the access road on the left. I like the access road just because the turn is going to the left, but that's just personal choice. You could use the green. So those two things will not move, will not change on any condition. So use even start to brake. As you can see, the road is there on the green. If the greens were better for you, just you could use any of those. They are aligned. If you look at the top view, see the start of the road is almost aligned with the end of the green. So both will work. Take what work the best for you. So turn 3 is one place that I did a small mistake. It's just on the line. So what I want to do here to try to maximize my lap time here. So first of all, let's go back from the top view. It will be easier to see. So braking was fine. The line's pretty good. Like race condition is fine. As you can see, like here, car drift a little bit on the left, and so what I want to use here, I want to use the curb. I want to use this curb to help me turn my car. So the curves look similar to the turn 1, the inside of turn 1. So it's really high here, But what I want to do is putting my left tire on the outside of the curve. So those small edge will grip the front left tire just to help me carry more speed through the corner. So in quality, this will make a difference. It's not a major mistake, but when you do it right, you could cut a lot and you stay from the inside to prepare for the next one because you have the like kind of a quick SS here. So we want to maximize the exit on the next corner, turn 4. So we want to keep this one, turn 3, really tight on the inside. So I'll jump on the next lap. And again, we'll go from the top view.
And would this work in the wet as well?
So slow corner, you could try it. It will depend on how wet it is, I guess. The green here, don't touch it in the wet. That's for sure. This is already slippery in the dry, so this part here I'll try to keep it. So I'll probably delay the acceleration and try to keep it on the track instead of using the curve in the green. So I'll probably not even.
Is that green AstroTurf or concrete?
I think it's AstroTurf.
So I'm really curious. Like, I've walked on AstroTurf in real life. How the hell do cars drive on AstroTurf at speed? It kind of breaks the brain a little bit to think about it.
They're really heavy. It's not really about the individual blades of grass as it is the rubber mat underneath. Still
Right.
not as good as tarmac, but still
Fair
pretty
enough.
sturdy.
So this will still be valid, I'm pretty sure, is the end of the curve. So if you still have some 2 tire on the curve like this is still valid. So this is how much you could use it on the dry. But don't try this like in the wet. You're probably gonna die. Coming to turn 3. I'm pretty sure on this one I did it correctly. I'm gonna keep turning. I want to have my left wheel. See, left wheel here, it's over the curve. It's past it. And this is fine. This will not be a track. See, tire is just there, and when I get just gives you the extra rotation. Like here, it still grip the car. So this line is much better than. I say much better, but it's not gonna gain you like a second of because you're doing it or not. It just extra time. So you keep it tight. See, I'm exiting turn 3. I'm like not even close to the half the track width because I want to prepare for the next one since we have the small straight after that. So this part here, it's not where we're gonna gain time. You're gonna gain time in the straight on being on throttle early. So if I keep turn 3 tight here, then I could prepare for turn 4 a lot sooner and be on throttle a lot sooner. And if I exit turn 3 right over the right curb here, then turn 4 you'll have to do it too tight and you'll only be on throttle way after the turn. So when you're gonna get on a straight, you're probably only gonna be able to be full throttle like somewhere here. But if you do turn 3 right, you should be on full throttle like here. When you're gonna ride the curve here, when you get down here, you should be full throttle. If you don't keep it tight, turn 3 like this, it's gonna be late. It'll be like that, and then you're just gonna lose a bunch of time. Just want to show from this angle so you can see it better since it was not on the lap. So compared to the lap land didn't do. Still not bad for racing. If you during a race you miss it by for a lap too, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna lose like half a second, but maybe it was like 0.1 on that lap for that maybe. Okay, and then turn 4. So you keep it tight before. This curve just in front of the car, this one, you want to go on it like a lot. You see there's a lot of rubber mark when the track is optimal, so you want to go on top of it. Right tire should be on top of it. So what you do for to help here, so I'm getting, let's go slowly here, keep it tight. I do a lift. I keep like, see, I still keep like here. A lot of time when you see this from me, I tell you that you should be coasting, but here you should do it. So what it does, you just give like 10-20% of throttle before the curve, so you just transfer the weight of the car on the back of it, so it's gonna lift the front of the car just a little bit, so you're just gonna go through the curve a lot easier. So it's just gonna give you extra couple of millimeter maybe, but that just way better. And then to get back on throttle is when you end up the curve. So when you get down of it here, then you see I'm starting to get back full throttle there. So for that speed, so you do your lift, you stay on full throttle a bit, just to give you the extra height on the front of the car to go over the curve easier. Is there any question on the stadium part? I know the first 4 corner, it's very technical, it's very hard section, that's tight, twisty turn on the stadium.
Michael?
Yep.
Can you just again explain, just say what you were saying about Xing turn 3?
Yep.
Like how do we prepare for turn 4?
Yeah. So I'm going to turn 3. You want to keep it on the left, so you want to put your tire over the curb, so it gives you the extra grip. And even if you look at the optimal track just in front of the car right now, it's the extra concrete that is there just before the grass is, you see the rubber mark, so you want to be there. So here, since we have 2 for the exit, you have 2 corner that's really close together, so SS, and that will be true for on when it happen on any track. You compromise the exit of the first corner, in this case turn 3, so you compromise this exit and keep it the car on the left to maximize your exit on turn 4. So as you can see here, I'm already starting to turn the car, but my exit was like not even half of the track. It's like 1/4 of track, something like that. So you want to keep it tight here, and then throttle a bit for the curve, and full throttle off when you go down the curve. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. So exit of turn 4 is one of the plays that you could get easily a track cut and validate your lap if you go too wide of it. So one thing you need to understand where the track limit is for turn 4. So at the beginning where I'm almost, the car is almost on the curb, so here, so you can see my mouse right on the stream?
No.
No? Okay. So in front of me you have the curb, the red and white curb is your track limit. If your right tire goes over the red and white until you see the end where of the curve, the last one, the white, that's your track limit. But when you get to the last one of the curb, so the just before the green and the other track layout, so think about this part. So if you take this corner of the, so the top left corner of the curb, it goes in line with this here, with where the triangle from the two white line when they cross. So it's go like a big triangle shape from there. So when you get out of the turn, if you stay like right wheel on the curb at one point along this other track layout, you'll get a track cut because the track limit is from the left of the last white curb through like the white line of the main track at the end of the, like here, like here. So that's why when you exit this turn, you could use the curb here. This is fine to use, fine to go right wheel 0, but then at this point you need to go back on the track because track limit is going to get narrower and narrower until you get to the end of it right there. So you need to have your right wheels back over the white line here. So if you stay too long in that Y, you could have a track cut here. Alright, then we have this small straight here. There we go. And we're to turn 5. So I want to use those cones that you'll see in front of me, they'll be gone like before, probably in warm-up lap during a race. Those will not stay there because like you see here, I want to use all the track that is available to me, and those will be gone because I will be here. See, I made it the cone is this is because they're replays back, but during the race you will not see them too often.
Did they get knocked out of the way in races and they stay there during practice mode?
No,
No,
during
you can knock them
practice,
off.
yeah, you're gonna knock it out. But I think on server, if you just join, I think they all back up and you're gonna hit it.
I saw earlier on House of Practice, like they were scattered all over the track.
Yeah.
But when I was playing alone in practice mode, I just drove right through them.
Yeah. So it's not gonna give you damage or anything, so you could just drive through and use all the track that it needs to use because we're completely on the right here and we have the other track layout on the right, the road's there, so I'm going to use the end of it for my braking reference. If we go for it just a little bit further, see I'm starting to be on the brake. I just passed it, probably get on the brake somewhere around there, last cone or white line, and you have the after the track that is changed like a brick right in front of us, so it's different. So there are a couple of things that you could use to maximize where it's going to be your braking here. So definitely use it. Forget the cone, they don't exist, you're going to be knocked out. So just use all the track that you could use. So that's your braking reference, and as you can see for this corner we have a fair amount of camber. Maybe it's not as camber as Laguna, but we have a lot. So when that happens, what you want to do is to keep the car very low to this part, but without going on the curb. The curve up this one, so we have a fair bit of camber, and this curve is only pretty big V for it, so you want to keep your tire like just before the curb. And I think on this lap I even touched it a bit. Well, it's not that much, but just a bit. So you can see here, keep it really low and back on throttle. Then where you're gonna use a lot of the track, don't want to use more than that, don't want to touch too much. It is like an S that's coming closer. So, but we use this one. It's just the shape on the next one. That's why this one I'm gonna do it so wide. Then people like I have the track for turn 6, and for braking reference here, there's not much to it. There's a curve on the left, I think, but it's still a bit far from it. It's not that perfect. There's a brick that changed. I don't know the grass here. You see it was some rubber mark, but then it stopped. I don't know how that will be on the green track. I'm not sure about it. So, like just two car before the curve. It's harder one to see, but you have a curve on the left that I think they're pretty much aligned. But this one for me is just a feel one. But if you're comfortable with something at a curve, you could definitely use it for this corner. And it's really a quick brake here. 60, I'm going back full brake. I'm not gonna stay on it too long. Try to brake a bit, but then this corner doesn't look like it, but it's really hard corner. It's really technical too. Just gonna get. Just want to show something here. It's not easy to see.
Is this turn 6?
Yes. You could see like here, if you look at the white line, but this part is more rubbery. Around here, it's get like more flat compared to this. So where's my car? You could, if you follow the line, you could see that it's turning, and when it gets to like here, get like flatter. So this is where you want to put your car. You want to put your car there, and when you get here, that's where you go. You want to get back full throttle. I think you see it pretty good from the inside. So right in front of me, the glove is there. Is there a better camera? Let's try this one. So you can see here the white line is turning. But when you get here, when you have like more dirt on the right, it get like it's not turning as much. So you want to put your car here and then get back on throttle at that point. So that's another turn that I like to have a reference to when to get back on throttle. Flat, and you have the dirt just a little bit before this. As you can see, the white line here is going like straight a little bit towards the left, and then turn back to the right. So this get just before this, so right in front. That's where I want to get back full throttle. And use all the track on the exit. It's fine to use the green stuff, just concrete. So you want to go as close as possible on the gravel. If you go too much, you're gonna touch it. Still have some space here. Then I want to get back on the track before the end of it, because it ends up and gonna just bumps the car. You have a chance to bump it here, so just be careful on the exit here. Here, any question for 5 and 6? Alright, for the hairpin for this lad, like we said at the beginning, went too deep on the brake and dropped. See here, entry was fine, but then I was carrying too much speed and it threw the car a little bit too much on the left. I could see I have the left wheel are on the rubber. That's a bit too much. If I was like, maybe let's say left wheel should be around where my right wheels are at the moment, that will probably be the max that you want, because you still want to do the U shape for the hairpin, but not as much. That's just a bit too much compared if I take a look at my next lap. All right. See here, drift a little bit, not much, and then I'm back full throttle. I preferred this one for me for the car, but you could definitely do it a little bit more than the U on this one. And for braking difference, what I'm using, so here you have the access road on the right, you have the start of the brick, look like the bricks that we have on the left. What I like to do is like the peak of the white line, so the turn that's doing there. So I go just slowly in front, so when I get like here, I just like to use the line, but that will be hard to use during a race if you have someone in front. So, but you also have the road on the right, and you have the beginning of the brick, so just a little bit after. You gotta jump on the brake, try to get steering car straight. Brake, so you're gonna hit your first apex, almost like a double apex. On this lap was a little bit, I didn't do a big U shape of it, but you should hit your first apex, like here, and you let the car roll, and then here you're just patient, so it's gonna drift on the left, then the front will start to grip back, because it's gonna lose speed. When you get here, get back full throttle, your apex is just in front of me. You have a darker, the white line is a lot darker. There will be your apex, but you're on full, you're getting on throttle. So yeah, while on throttle, I'll delay the full throttle a bit here. And then again on your exit, you could use a green stuff that is there, just the concrete. Don't touch the gravel, you're just gonna lose all your speed that you need to try to carry it for the next corner for the S Schumacher. So let's take a look at this one back full speed. Alright. I check my other lab just to see how different it is, but I probably have lost like a tenth or two speed here. Again, a little bit on the straight. It's not a big straight, but here till we get to Schumacher, and after that to turn 10, because we're only going to brake to turn 10. So the S here, what we're doing, it's just a lift. And it's not even a full lift. You're going to lift like around 20, 30, even 40% of your throttle. Will depend on car and setup, how much wind you're using and all that. So go slowly. So what I wanted to do to be able to do that quick turn that fast, I want to use as much drag as possible. So in the dry condition, you can see here, I'm gonna go over the curb. It bumps a little bit, it's fine. Some right tire are on the brake on the top. The curb is past the curb. That is fine for, I think every car could doing that. You just need to enter correctly. So like right at the beginning, want to enter here. As you can see from my car, it bumps a little bit, but it's not gonna get the car too unstable to this section. And then when you get close to so you have the end of the curve on the left here, somewhere around there. You want to lift, and when you get back, in this lap I got pretty aggressive here. I get on the curve on the left, but usually that's not something you want to do. That's a bit much to try. Like getting there, it was dangerous. It got okay on this lap, but it's not something that I want to try every lap. I'm probably not gonna gain much here because usually I like to just keep my wheels on the white line of the track, not even touching the curve here. We could check lap 8. Yeah, this is way better. I think I got wider. I'm not sure if this lap is because if you touch a gravel here, usually you're pretty much have a track cut for this or invalidate your lap for quality. Back, go on the curve, lift, and when you get to here, I don't know if you. So as you can see right in front of me, the white line, which is getting darker because it's on optimal track, but as you see it white compared to the curve, so it get wider there. That's where you want to get back on full throttle at that point. You can see I'll go slow, gonna get here, and then I'm starting to get back full throttle here. I'm gonna check this one. I think it's better, even though I was aggressive on the curve. Get back full throttle. And again, on the second part of the SS, you want to get your right wheels on the green, but you don't want to touch the gravel, so you want to try to make that corner as straight as possible. So if you go here and look it from the inside, so I'm gonna cut, so I'm gonna turn it like this, so the way the car is facing. So you want to cut the first one, get close to the curve, and then you keep it tight, and then the second part, you can see the darker mark here is pretty much what you want to do. As you can see the second part, so of the SS, the darker mark are on the right and on the green, so that's what you want to see to use it. Try to get those two corner as straight line as possible, so that's why you could try to carry a lot of speed through there. It's gonna require practice to get it, but because if you do it wrong, something at this speed, you might spin, but you need to just keep doing it in also practice so you could carry all that speed. And on the exit, again, you could use the green on dry condition. Now getting to turn 10. So what I'm using here for braking reference is the end of the, I think it might be another track layout, the exit here or just an access road. So I want to use the end of it. The 100-meter board is there, but might get destroyed. Even the elf board could be destroyed, but you have the end of the road, and you have the grass that's there, and you have the extra turf that's there. So there's a bunch of things for you to use it without using any of the board that's there. So here you could try to brake on the extra turf, but sometimes for me I found it like it's way slippery to brake on that stuff. I think I still did it on this lap. Yeah, right wheel on it. I just need to be careful. We're not too long on it, so shouldn't be too bad. And this curve on turn 10, you could attack it, go on it. It's not serrated like we see in other turn, so there's only a little bit camber. You could get your left tires on the green like I did here. That should be fine. Then back full throttle. We use the track here. Don't want to use too much. Don't want to go too much on the right here, because this part of the circuit, if you get too much on the right, gonna spin. There's no grip at all after that. So go on the curb, not much more than the curve. Like this was a bit more. I think I went even on the green a little bit. Like could be on the green a bit, but I prefer not to go not much than this. And then I tried for turn 11 to go as left that I could bring the car, because they are pretty close one to the other. And then here it's a corner that you're gonna have to be patient and patient and patient before getting back full throttle. We'll just go back and check it full speed. But that was a long time for a racing car to not go full throttle, so you want to be really patient for this one. And for this corner, for me, it's another corner where I don't have a lot of marker, a good marker for the brake. You have the access, not the access road, but the extra tarmac that we have on the right that's going triangle finish to the curb in front of us is pretty far. The crane is there. You could still use the crane. It's not that bad to use, I will get. But for me, just a feel one for this one. But crane could work it like almost at the edge of the windshield. The curb is a little bit too far for me to use it, and the extra track that we have on the right, it's not much to tell you where to brake. So this is one of those corners that I'm just doing it by feel now. Here. Patient, and full throttle, and here you want to use as much drag as possible. But again, we have, like a lot of other corner in the Nurburgring, we have the gravel that's waiting for us right at the edge of it. So you could go on the green, there's space for it, for the car. Get your left tire is there. See, I was right on the edge, just a little bit more than that, and I'll touch the gravel and it will slow me down for the... It's not a straight, we still have turn 12 in front of us. Turn 12 is flat, but if you lose too much speed on the gravel here, if you have someone on your back, they will have a good chance for you for the chicane, which is a good place for overtake. Turn 12, flat, and now we're coming to the chicane. So chicane, the line on the chicane could change a lot from car to car. So which car could take, okay, if you go see on the chicane, it's not the first one, the second one, like those, which car could drive on that curve and this curve. As you can see, they're tall, they could jump the car, they could spin you. So some car will like to not go on those curves, just have the tire close to it. So you want to cut right at the edge where the end of the rectangle red and white curve, and then yeah, you have the green, and then you have this big curve. So some car will just want to use this line, so use it here, same thing here, just miss it, and then you continue. Some other car that could take a lot more curve will just go like right here. They could put their tire even like upstairs, and they don't even care. The AMG, the newest one, not the rookie one. I don't know about the rookie, but the other one could just go whatever you want on this curve. It just like doesn't care at all. So be careful when you follow someone. You might follow a car that could do a lot more curve than you, and if you're trying to do the same thing from the car view, it might spin you or just making you lose a lot of time. So just be careful on this one following car. It's really hard to follow a car here because the line could change just because of that. And for your braking reference, it's like between the 150-meter boards, but again, those could be destroyed during the race. What I'm using is not the best, but you have a couple of things on the right. You have the Marshall, the orange paint on the fence. I think those are toilets, and then you have the bigger posts there on for the track. So you could use those. So when they get to a certain point of your right view, you could use those, and will be better than using the 100 or 50-meter mark. So it's around like 75-meter that you will start to brake for this corner. So if you can look here, around. If we look at the top part of it, it's like 75-meter. Not halfway, it's a little bit before halfway, but when through from the inside, it's almost feel like halfway. But again, use something that you will like that's on the right. And then for me, this guy, I think I hit it a bit. Yeah, I just touch it. Oh. It's just the beginning of it, and that's like the most that I will touch this curve, because even if I continue here, so touch this one, I did the same thing here. So it, as you can see, it pushed me a bit on the right. So I'm gonna take the next one and gonna hit it a bit more. As you can see, I touched the little orange post. So because of I touched a bit of the first one here, what happens that it unsettled the car and pushed me a little bit on the right. So I took the second one a lot more than the first one, and what happened after that, it's gonna bump the car a bit, that I have to do a big correction on the exit of it. This was the third mistake, the one of the three. So if we go back, I'm gonna take a look at full speed. You can see I have to do big corrections to not lose the car in the second part of it. So that's happened because of the first one. Since I hit it, you can see it here was gonna go slow. So I hit a bit much for this car, and then I went a bit too much on the right, and this one I hit too much, and then the rear just bumps. I have to do like a 90-degree correction on the steering, which is pretty big. But again, the chicane, it's gonna be scary, but you also need to be brave on it to be able to do a good time of it, because you could gain or lose a lot of time in the chicane just by trying. You need to build your confidence there for sure. And for the last corner, what I'm using for my reference, it's a lighter patch of dirt that we see on the ledge just in front of me. If I go just further a little bit, when I get to it, it's just on the top of my car. You have a lighter patch there. That's what I'm using for my braking. So when I get there, like just before, like here, I'm starting to be on the brake. I think this one is easy to spot. You also have the pedestrian. If you have a car in front of you, you have the pedestrian that's on the right. We just pass it just a little
Can you
bit.
show overhead? Because we're going to be racing at nighttime, I think.
Yes, we will be racing at night, but it's still visible at night. If you're this one.
You can also increase your exposure in the video settings and make the night a little bit more visible.
Yeah, that's something you could do, yeah. I think it's still pretty visible if you're in normal setting for dispatch. So that's what I'm using here. Here on the brake. Then you want to go close to the curb, but you don't want to go on the curb on the right because you don't want to hit that fence. It happened in the other stream. I see streamer that hit it. I did it myself. I'm gonna hit this one or right after. So don't go on the curb. Just go close to the white line. Let's see here. Don't want to take any risk in the race. Don't want to touch that rail for no reason. And then on the exit, then you could use everything until the gravel. Is there any question on any part of the track?
Should all of the green be avoided in the rain, or can we use some of them?
It will depend on how much rain. If it's just light rain, you could probably use a lot. If it's like medium rain, you could probably not use much of it, the green. So since we have random condition, it could evolve that at some point you'll be able to use it or you will not be able to. It's hard to tell in the race. Always depend how much rain we get. And we don't have this week, it's not fixed rain. So it's gonna vary from lap to lap. So you need to be careful. If you feel that some lap you want to try, you could try, but be careful. And you see, it didn't drift, it didn't do anything. So next lap, you could be a bit more aggressive. And if you go on it, and then you have to do a lot of correction, but then next lap, just don't touch it. It will be really hard for this race. It's not a fixed thing, but medium your rain, I will say yes.
What do you take as a reference for going full throttle on the last corner? I feel like I keep either losing grip or braking too much.
I don't have a reference for this one, but we could check. There's nothing that I'm using for it. It's just when I get to the apex. Let's see here. I delayed a little bit, but it's pretty much at the apex, we'll say. But I don't have any visual like other corner on the track, like turn 3. I was using the crane. It's really rare that I have reference for getting back on throttle. It's just turn 3 is one of them. That's really like it. 6, but most of the track I don't have it. It just yeah. Go ahead.
What would you say the apex is here?
Let's go from the top view.
Because I heard that. Okay.
Maybe just a little bit after the gate is starting.
Okay.
You have the fence on the right.
Do you think going wide, taking another line on this one is possible too? Like going a little bit deep and then getting into the different like apex?
Not for quali. For race, maybe depend on the car in front, you might be able to play with the line a bit, but that's just during the race. But for quali, no. I don't think you will gain time because you're gonna lose on the entry. You might gain some on the straight, but you're probably not gonna gain it back. And the here's your line for the lap, so it's not far, like somewhere here. You're not gonna have all the straight to gain back the time that you will have lost during your entry. One more thing, the pit entry. Let's go through the pit entry. Davin's already posted something, a picture. I think it was on House of Practice. So this is not your line for your pit limiter. This is not your line either. This is your pit entry is here, but the line is not even close to here. So you have to do this. You have to do the turn. You will have to lift the brake here. And you need to continue, and then we'll get back full throttle here. At the end of the corner, get full throttle. And I'm pretty sure around here where we have the track other layout, I guess for the pit entry on the right, somewhere around here you're gonna get back on the brake to slow the car to get to this line. This is the line for your pit entry. The board is there, but just remember that it is this one at the end of the when you get in the car, like something like this, where the orange box are. So this will be your line for your pit entry. So practice this one, like David said, it is pretty far. If you take a look on the left, you have your pit entry where you have your white line like triangle. So pit entry, and the pit line is the last one that you see on the right. So this one. So it is really far. So you need to find where to brake for the turn, where to get back full throttle, and then somewhere here you get back on a brake to get to your 50 kilometers per hour for the pit. And the exit here is pretty straightforward. So this is your line for your pit exit, where the total engineer red stripe that go all the way to the pit ends. This will be your pit exit. And during the race, again, like any other track, stay on your between your white line. You see it's continue here. Don't cross, don't try to go. You go here, keep it on the inside. You have the inside for the next corner. So if there's someone that's coming, then this space is reserved for you. So you keep it here, you have the inside for the corner, you will be able to defend. So don't try to cross it, but keep it on the right for pit exit. And if you have someone, like I said, you'll be able to defend for the next corner. If it was someone that you try to undercut, overcut, or something like that during race. Anything else that you will like to see back, or you have a question on anything?
Well, this will be on YouTube in 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, I'll send it since I do it on today. I was gonna try to send it to Devin tonight, and we'll see when Devin's gonna be uploaded to YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mikael.
Yeah. I have one more thing. We are going to add a new page to the Discord that will be called Motec Reference. So I will be posting a lab for all the track, a reference lab that for people that like to use Motec to compare laps. So I'm gonna start with the track that we are running this season. I'm gonna run the McLaren for this one, but the plan is to have at least all the track one car. So I'm gonna do first of all for all the track with the McLaren. So we have a mid-engine, and I will do the same after that for a front engine, just for people to like to have Motec reference. You'll have a lap there. It's gonna be like the ACT track map channel. So I'm gonna be post like one Motec per track. it should be live after the Discord, after this walkthrough. Right, thank you very much, and hope you get a good race this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.